Hello everyone, welcome back to more Deep Rock Galactic. I am DisturbingPuppet. So today we're going to talk a little bit about the new perks system that they have in the game with the most recent update, so update 28, and a little bit about the updates because I just kind of did a quick survey of each of the different characters. Didn't spend any resources or anything on points or upgraded anything. After I played with everybody, I was like, yeah, I like certain characters more than others, so I'm just going to go ahead and play around with the perks and with upgrades. And I made some kind of simple mistakes that I'd like to help everyone else avoid. So that's why I'm doing this. Nothing is really major. It's sort of minor things, but it just sort of will slow your progression initially if you do what I did. So the perks are pretty simple. This is the most recent update, update 28. You can kind of see here. Hello, miners. Feeling perky. Good, because update 28 is here to satisfy you with a meaty overhaul of the entire perk system. So we'll go over the perks really quick. Perks are pretty simple and fairly straightforward. The upgrades are a little different. So let us continue. Probably I made some mistakes doing it just because I'm sort of oblivious when it comes to things sometimes. The other is that this is still an early access game. It doesn't have a lot of tutorial stuff. It doesn't have a huge amount of explanation for some things. Some of that's probably going to change. I'm sure some of the UI will get overhauled. Some of the interfaces will get overhauled. All right, so perks are fairly simple. So here we can kind of see key performance indicators. For this we have milestones. As you do milestones, you get perk points. With perk points, you buy perks. Imagine that. So you start off with, you have to have at least 3 here before you can move to this level. You have to have 3 here for next, that kind of thing. And they get progressively more expensive as you go. So I was not sure when I first started playing how the perks worked, if they were universal to all your characters. They are not. So what you have to do is unlock perks here, then you have them available to equip with your different characters. So here you can kind of see I have some upgrades as far as the active impact compensators upgraded. So if I hit the jump button as I'm falling, right before I hit the ground, which is actually harder than it seems because sometimes it's really dark and you can't see the ground, you take half damage. We've got something here that I picked up as an ability. You get an early warning when a creature's about to grab you, and one time a mission you can escape after being grabbed, killing your captor in the process. And I've also unlocked thorns, so when I get hit I do some damage. So you can kind of see here, there's different colors. So this color means it's an active ability, something you have to do to trigger it. This is a passive, so it's always in effect. So you don't have to do anything, nothing special, don't have to hit a button, any of that kind of thing. It just automatically works. So those are the 2 kinds of perks, and there's variations. So we have here things that'll help you revive teammates faster. I'm mainly probably going to be playing solo, so I didn't pick up this stuff. I do have some perks. Well, I've got 1 perk point. I think I spent a bunch to upgrade to this. Taking less damage from friendly fire. We've got increased sprint speed, all that kind of stuff. And there's more that unlock as you go. So that's a fairly simple kind of thing. So what we do when we equip a character, and we're looking at our gear, so over here we'll check out our equipment. When I pick a character, I have slots. So we have a slot here for an active perk, and we have a slot here for a passive perk. The only thing that I'm not super happy about is that the slots are designated as only active or passive. I wish I could just put whatever I want in, so in a lot of games I might do more passive or active abilities depending on what kind of upgrades there are. But in this they are sort of dictated. As you level up, you'll unlock more slots. We've got to get some more promotions, so playing with him more to unlock another spot. But I'm not sure if this is going to be an active slot or a passive slot. So that's kind of how it works. With this guy, because we do have the grappling gun, that's why I wanted to have the active impact compensators with him. The only passive I've got is thorns. Everyone has thorns. So switch to another character. On these, we've got the thorns, and then we have heightened senses to avoid getting... I got grabbed by some kind of bug that flew me off into a mess of other bugs. There's also things in the ceiling that'll grab you. So things like that and kind of avoid. So most of my guys, I've got that and the thorns. So the only thing I would recommend, because this game is in early access, things can and probably will change, would be to not make these slots designated as only active or passive. Okay, that's the easy part. When it comes to upgrades, we've got all these different gear and stuff that we have. And then we have upgrades we can buy for them. So the mistake that I made, because I'm an idiot and kind of oblivious, is that if I look at somebody like, let's look at our engineer here. I kind of looked at this with the grenade, for example. At this tier, I could unlock some upgrades. And I was thinking, all of these are really helpful and nice, so I'll upgrade and unlock all of them, because I figured they would all be active. That is wrong. So what happens is you unlock one spot where you can pick one of these gear modifications to put in it. So what I did was I picked the characters I liked the most and unlocked almost all of their stuff. And it was only after I was reading some of the perks kind of in depth I realized some of them counteract others. So for example, with the engineer, when it comes to our platform gun, I can have 2 sentries at once, or I can have 1 better sentry. So when I read this, I realized, oh, these aren't both in effect. I'm picking one of the 2 that I unlock for when I go into a mission. So once I did that, I realized, okay, I'll just pick the one thing that's the best. But by then, I'd already spent a bunch of money and resources, well, credits and resources, to unlock all of these different things because I didn't realize that they were things I could only pick one of. Now, in the long term, you probably will want to unlock all of them because you might have other combinations of upgrades later that they work better with. But initially, it's probably best to just find the one at this level that you like the best or think is the best, unlock that, and do that for all your different characters and all your different gear. So you can see I have some things that I haven't picked up any upgrades on because I couldn't afford it. Because I spent too much doing all of the unlocks here, all the unlocks here, that kind of stuff, when really only one of them is necessary at this point. So you can see like my gunner, I only had enough. We got 1 upgrade with him. That's it. I got no upgrades with the driller. I mainly focused on the engineer and the scout. So yeah, we picked up a couple upgrades here, a couple upgrades here without me realizing, oh, it's only 1. So that's really about it. It's not a huge deal. It's just something that will kind of slow down your progression initially because it is going to burn a bunch of your credits and use up some of your resources and is really not necessary. So just pick the one that you think is good at each level. Pick that, call it good. So a lot of times it's extra ammo or, in this case, burning longer, way better. For me, I'll take that. If I think both of them are going to be active, I'd spend resources on both, but I realized before, okay, just one, do that. So that's my advice. That's what I did. That was kind of me being oblivious and not paying attention, so I just wanted to pass that along to anyone. Like I said, some of this might get a more clear explanation later as they update some of the UI stuff and add sort of a codex and things like that. But at least for now, threw me off a bit. I wasted a little bit of resources, but it's not a big deal. In the long run, it just means I'll have to run more missions to unlock stuff later, and I haven't even unlocked the next tiers of things anyway, generally. But it would be better to have spent those resources unlocking something for all the different characters if I'm going to play around with all the different characters, and probably will, instead of upgrading multiple things for one character. Anyway, that's it for me, so I just wanted to pass that along because I'm an idiot, and I figured some other people might get caught up or tripped by that too. So thank you very much. Hopefully I will see you again with some more Deep Rock Galactic. Have a good one.